Good morning. It is Monday of Holy Week. Luna was already happily ensconced on the couch, so I decided I would join her here instead of making her get on the floor and joining her on the floor. So here we are on my couch, and this week I'm going to be reflecting on the Gospel Holy Week texts from the Daily Lectionary. And the Daily Lectionary is following Mark's Gospel. So in Mark's Gospel, it's the day after Palm Sunday, or the triumphal entry wasn't a Sunday then, but the day after, when Jesus goes back into Jerusalem and cleanses the temple. So Mark writes this. Then they, the disciples and Jesus, came to Jerusalem, and he entered the temple and began to drive out those who were selling and those who were buying in the temple. And he overturned the tables of the money changers and the seats of those who sold doves, and he would not allow anyone to carry anything through the temple. He was teaching and saying, "Is it not written, 'My house shall be called a house of prayer for all the nations,' but you have made it a den of robbers." And when the chief priests and the scribes heard it, they kept looking for a way to kill him, for they were afraid of him, because the whole crowd was spellbound by his teaching. And when evening came, Jesus and the disciples went out of the city. Really, today I just have a lot of questions for us. As I read this, I reflected on the fact that Jesus is seeking for his people to get back to an old way of being in the temple, that the temple is a house of prayer. But I believe he's also asking them to rethink a lot of their traditions and assumptions, knowing what's coming. Knowing that he will be the final sacrifice that is ever asked for when he gives his life on the cross, at least by God, not by human beings. Human beings still demand sacrifice, but God does not. And so it led me to asking questions about our traditions, and what do we need to rethink about how we are as the people of God? And this seems like a really good time to take that time to reflect the Holy Week and also what we are going through. Maybe you have more space to reflect, and maybe you don't. Maybe you are trying to work while at home and being present to children and spouses and all the other demands of life. But if you have more time to reflect, it's a good time to ask ourselves, what is most important about our faith, our traditions, our relationship with God? What's most important about who we are? And it's not about trying to reinvent ourselves anew. It's about trying to draw closer to the deeper truth of who God intends us to be. So I'm asking those questions of myself today and of the ways that we are in community in the faith, in the community of faithful, and what those questions might mean for us moving forward as we do come out of this. I don't have any answers yet, but if you have any questions you are asking, I'd be interested in hearing them, and so go ahead and put those in the comments. We'll be back again tomorrow. Thanks.